And, I'll send you an email. If you got the time, maybe in about a month, I wouldn't mind having you back on for another hour, and we can talk about, paranormal stuff a little bit more.
Anytime.
Okay, sir. Hey.
Get a hold of me anytime.
Okay. Well, hey,
I'll be game. If I'm free, I'll be game.
Okay, and get me a picture, too, of that implant. Can you? Try to?
I'll see what I can do. I'm not too super duper, but I'll see what I can do.
Okay, Tim. Well, you have a great...
my technology experience is not quite up to yours. I'm 66, and it's going to be 67.
Wait a minute, Tim. What is wrong with 66? I am 66.
I like it. Nothing wrong with it. I just said I didn't grow up in the electronic age.
Well, I didn't. Well, I did.
Black
my dad.
And white TV, even.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Well, you have a great weekend, and say hi to your wife for me.
You have the same, Gary. You have the same.
Okay.
Thanks.
You take care.
Yeah, sure. Get back a hold of me. I'll be counting on you.
I sure will. Good night, Tim.
Good night.
Okay. Well, it's 17 people Dr. Leir removed implants from. And actually, I don't know if it was 18 or 17. I know Whitney's has an implant that a couple times that Dr. Leir tried to remove it out of his ear, and that little sucker kept on moving. They thought they would get it, and it would continue to move where they could not surgically remove it. And they tried, I know, several times. And also, Whitney would talk about how his ear would turn bright red and get extremely hot, like it was emitting something. So the whole point is, I know there's a lot of people walking around the street, that maybe they were driving their car, or maybe they were getting up in the morning or going to bed, and all of a sudden they lost track of time. Does that mean maybe, possible, that they were abducted and maybe have an implant? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to be back with Liz here in a minute about her book. It's about Bigfoot and stuff like that. I also want to thank Michael for stepping in here and calling in here tonight. And he's really great. He runs a group up here about UFOs and things like that. So what can I say?
Check out Night Dream's website at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com.
Hey, this is Gary from Night Dreams Talk Radio. I want to welcome a new sponsor to our show, PhoenixShaving.com. I know what you're thinking, right? Oh, another disposable razor company. Well, the fact is they're not. You remember the razors that your father and his father shaved with? Did you ever notice they didn't have, the embarrassing razor burn or ingrowing hairs or the razor bumps after they shaved? Did you notice they were also relaxed after they were done shaving? Well, the problem is these big corporations want to sell you razor after razor after razor. Think about how much money you spend a year on razors. Or do you use electric razor? Then you're going to find out what razor burn is. So you need to check out Phoenix Shaving Starter Kits. They come complete with the soap, the brush, and a 2.5-month supply of blades. And the most important part of it, an all-metal razor, built to last generations. So, hey, you can donate it to one of your sons when they turn 18. Check out PhoenixShaving.com and tell them that Gary from Night Dream said, hey, I want one. That's PhoenixShaving.com now.
UFO IP. which is a professional group of highly educated UFO slash paranormal field investigators.
You're listening to Night Dreams Radio with Gary Anderson.
Hey, that is me. Let's make a phone call right now to Liz so we can talk about, well, her book. And I know she's waiting. So let's see if we can get her on the line. Boy, that was a good guess, wasn't it? Implants. Ooh, scary.
Hello?
Well, hi, Liz. You got Gary here at Night Dreams Talk Radio. How you doing, kid?
I'm good.
Well, I hope you had a great day.
I did, thankfully.
Okay, well, hopefully you're not sitting in your car last time with your cell phone and been waiting for me for the last hour to call you.
I've actually been sitting in my car with my cell phone for about the past 5 minutes.
Okay, but you're still sitting in your car.
I am. I get better signal. I live in an old farmhouse with a metal roof, so there's no signal that's getting in.
Hey, now, metal roof. How about when you get heavy rain or hail and stuff like that? Is that loud inside, or do you have good insulation?
I have pretty good insulation. You can definitely tell it's a metal roof, but it's not too bad.
You know, I made the mistake. I bought a cabin for my property, and I let one of my sons live in it. And, you know, I was stupid. You know, for the same price, I could have got the same cabin with a regular roof. No, the guy said the metal roof will last longer. Big mistake. Every time there's a lightning storm, or we get a lot of hail here off and on in the wintertime, or heavy rains, I mean, you're inside of it, and it's like a big echo chamber.
Yeah, my house isn't too bad. You know, it's a standard roof underneath, and we did replace the shingles with metal when it was time. But, you know, I personally like it. I don't have a problem with it except the cell phone service. That's a problem.
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't know. Depending on your carrier. I mean, you know, it's really funny where I live. I mean, one day I'll have a great signal. The next day, I can't even get onto Facebook on my cell phone, you know, and I don't know. Hey, why don't you tell everybody your name, Liz, what you do, about this great book you wrote, 51, and your idea about other sequels to it, and what is the book all about?
Okay. My name is Liz Reender. I am actually a retired police officer and EMT, and had this crazy idea to write a book to help me deal with a few issues I was having a couple years ago, and came up with the idea for this book and the series. Let's see. I'm always worried about giving away spoilers, so bear with me with the description.
Okay.
This past weekend, somebody asked me, you know, what is the book like? You know, what's it about? And I'm like, yeah, I hate that question. I'm always worried about giving away spoilers. And the guy looked at me and he said, don't worry, I watched Tom Holland interviews. Nothing you say is going to be more of a spoiler.
Well, I will say this, Liz. I had a guest on several months ago about vampires, you know, real-life vampires. And no, I take it back. Yeah, vampires. And he wrote a book on it. And I tell you, he wanted to be on the show so bad. So I get him on the show, right? And then I start talking about, well, and he wrote also a book about, you know, like the Walking Dead type of scenario too. And I started asking him questions about the book. And he goes, well, I don't want to talk about it because if I talk about it, no one will buy it. And then I try to explain to him, I said, well, you wanted to be on the show. You wanted to push your book and let people know about your book. If you won't say anything about your book, then who's going to buy it?
Oh, I'm happy to talk about it. I'm just worried I'll say too much and ruin it for somebody.
If you do, I tell you what you do. You go in your back room of your house, right? I'm sure you still got some handcuffs around, right? Handcuff yourself to the water tank and say, "Hey, I blew it."
I can do that. Basically, the 51, the beginning, is the first book in a 5-book series, which I did finish. This is the only one that's published so far. It starts out with a woman by the name of Lindsay Gold, who had been a deputy with the Sheriff's Department, being approached to come back to the department a few months later because the sheriff has abruptly quit and the chief deputy refuses to take over. She gets there. There are a few issues that, something seems to definitely be off with why the sheriff quit, but it's more of administrative things and that type of thing, so she just kind of lets it go. Few days into the job, they start getting these strange calls about creatures and weird things happening that have never happened in the county. So at first she's kind of wondering, are these people drinking something? Are they smoking something? Something has to be going on here that can easily be explained. And finally, someone is attacked in the river. And she's injured rather significantly, so they realize, there's something more going on here. As it progresses, they realize more and more that, something has happened. And ultimately, it leads to the discovery that there was an incident on the Army base in the county that is causing all this to happen. And her husband is in charge of the program but never told her because everything he does is confidential and classified. So she had no clue that he is ultimately responsible for all this mess that she is now having to work with him to clean up.
Oh, wow.
And that's the first book in the series.
Well, okay. Now, you're talking about creatures. Like, are we talking like Bigfoot type of creatures and monsters and things that'll grab you like when you're in bed and, like drag you out of bed at night?
Actually, Bigfoot is in every book. And the reason is that is something that, because I did set this in Missouri in the Ozarks, that is something that is reported to be here. There are sightings even within a few miles of my house. So I put that in every book. And what actually happened to her and the reason she was initially fired was she responded to a call and was attacked by one of them, which led to her being injured. And because of the situation, when she, went in, did her report and everything, she filled it in as best she could, but, how do you write a report saying, yeah, something attacked me, I'm not sure what it was, and I have no idea really what happened, but I got hurt. And the sheriff didn't like that, so he fired her. He wanted her to falsify the report and specifically say, this person or these people attacked me. Uh-huh. That way he could ultimately, get, I don't know, really recognition, but so he could say, these people, look, this is what they did, so, they're being taken care of now, when in fact that's not what happened. So he fired her for not falsifying the report, and then later she wound up replacing him.
Oh, wow.
When he quit.